Greetings, Biafrans. Greetings, lovers of freedom. My name is M.A.P. Ezioku Bondo, one in Biafra land. I want you to pay attention to everything I'm about to say here. And I want you to know the truth. We have been shouting that we need freedom. We want Biafra restoration. And I have sat down to check a lot of things and cross-check and checkmate the activities and also look into the people that are agitating for Biafra restoration. And I have a lot of questions and I need to speak out at this point of time so that it will be on record. I have been saying this before, but I want to say it again for record purpose in case of necessity. If we truly want Biafra restoration, for Biafra to be restored, there are some certain actions we must take for we to know that we are about to restore this very nation we are agitating of. And one of the actions that we must take is one, we must be in charge of Biafra land. We must take control of our land. In as far as we are not in charge of our land, we can't restore a nation. In as far as Biafrans are not in control of who their governor is, who their senators is, who their House of Rep is, who their local government chairman, House of Assemblies, if Biafrans are not in charge of these people, we can't restore a nation. I know a lot of you will disagree or start making a silly comment because a lot of you are not well equipped with information about how a nation is being restored. But I'll explain everything here in details. If, for example, the election that is coming up in Imo State, that somebody that is in support of what we are doing cannot be elected as a governor in Imo State, and they will allow Hope Uzodimma to continue, how do you intend to give an order of what is happening in Imo State, of what will happen in Imo State? Definitely, the Fulanis will be controlling your land. If we cannot position people that will be governors in our land, if we cannot dictate for our governors what will happen, if the Fulanis, whom we see as our enemies, are the one commanding our governors, our senators, and our everything, the political representative we have in our land, how do we intend to restore Biafra? Let me say it and make it very clear to every one of us here. In terms of international community, to have a communication with any person, your political representatives matters. The people that are governing you matters. When you check Catalonia, you see that most of the Catalonian leaders are into their parliament. And they are the people speaking for their people, asking for referendum. Now, I say it, and I will still say it again. Another thing that is very necessary in this our Biafra agitation movement are who are the people that are agitating for Biafra restoration. Where are our boundaries? Who are the people? Is Ishekuri, Urobo, Ijo, Efik, all the Calabars? Are they part of Biafra struggle? If yes, what are their efforts towards the Biafra restoration? Because most of them, I would say 99% of them, are saying that they are not part of Biafra. And you cannot force people to be part of your freedom movement. The only people that come from the South that are part of what we are doing are the only Igbo-speaking part. The other ones that are not Igbo speaking part is only 1%. And we cannot present 1% over 99 before the international communities. On this note, I am drawing the attention of the IPOB leadership and the attention of those who are also in support and championing the Biafra agitation to look into the boundaries and the people whom we are clamoring for Biafra restoration with. If these people, if 90% of them or 95% of them say that they are not part of what we are doing, the best option we have is to cut them off and agitate for Igbo Biafra nation. We can call it the same Biafra nation, but choose to be Igbo Biafra, cut those that are not part of what we are doing. I know this my statement will provoke a lot of people, most especially my brothers from the South. But the truth must be told. Since the Biafra agitation started, since Wazirike resurrected it in 1999, till date, I have not seen the impact of the non-speaking Igbo part of Biafra towards this Biafra restoration. And that their characters and their behavior, their demonstration have shown that they are solidly behind one Nigeria. And that is why you can see people like Tompolo having contract worth of billions of dollars working for Nigeria, one Nigeria. We can see people like Asari Tukumbo having contracts of worth of billions of dollars working for one Nigeria. We can see people like Eteketon working for one Nigeria. We can see people like Edwin Clark of the Pandef working for one Nigeria. I have not seen any prominent person from non-speaking Igbo that is part of what we are doing. And it is something that is worrisome. I know a lot of you, most especially my fellow IPOB, will say, Maz, what are you saying? This is the bitter truth that nobody will say except me. Because when you check the appointment from the federal government, you see that the South have more appointment. When you check about the sharing of the national cake, you see that the South have their own cake. The people that are being marginalized are the Igbos, not the Shekuris, not the Jaws, not the Efik, not the Calabas. If you check the places where there is absence of the federal project, you see that it's only in Igbo land. When you check the people that are being slaughtered on a daily basis, if the Nigerian soldier slaughter 100 people, 99 of them are Igbo youth. Maybe 1%, one person will be mistakenly from the South. That does not make them part of what we are doing. On this note, I am calling the people in charge of this Biafran restoration project to please let us look into the people we are fighting with, and also know that for Biafra to be restored, we must be in charge of our land. We must not be pretending or be begging anyone to be part of what we are doing. The era of pampering and begging some individuals or some group of persons to be part of Biafra restoration have come and gone. It is time we face the reality. If the South, the non-Igbo speaking Biafrans really want to participate in Biafra restoration, they should demonstrate that they are willing to go. They are willing to disintegrate Nigeria to be part, and they will do so. Not 1%. At least 60% of them will rise up to speak. Before you say, Maz, what are you saying? I have this question for you. The question is, since 1999, that this Wazirike resurrected this Biafra agitation, what impact have non-Igbo speaking Biafran played towards Biafra restoration? How many of them have risen up? Why is there the killings and every destruction is happening in Igbo land. Not even a single one day sit at home, nor anything to show that they are fed up with one Nigeria. Every actions and demonstration that come out from them shows that they are for one Nigeria. And we cannot force them into what we are doing, because that will lead us into failure. If we are waiting for them to rise up and join us, believe you me, before we will realize what is going, the Igbos will be wiped out and they will never do anything. That is why up to date, the killings that is going on in Igbo land, none of them is bothered, and none of them is speaking out, and none of them is doing anything to show their solidarity or to show that they are part of what we are doing. They feel less concerned. It's none of their business. And I cannot continue be saying that we are together when I am not seeing anything. My own life is not good for sacrifice, while their own is good to be kept. On this note, I made a 2-point here. For Biafra to be restored, we need to be in charge of our land. We need to decide to control the politicians in our land. We need to be the ones to tell them what will happen, who to contest and who not to contest. If you don't have the interest of Biafra restoration at your heart, you must not contest. If we continue allowing the Fulanis to use their corrupt judiciaries, their corrupt INEC to determine who will govern us in our own land, the restoration of Biafra will be very long, and they will continue killing us. Look at the destruction of lives and properties in Imo State, in Anambra State, in Enugu State. How many have you seen happening in the South? None of it. And we are claiming that we are all together. Brothers and sisters, why I use the language that we hear is for them to know that people like me, MAP, are not happy in their own role towards the Biafra restoration. They are good in coming out to call Igbos saboteurs, while they are 99% of them are still working with one Nigeria, and they will say that is not a sabotage. When Biafra is restored, they will come out and say all of us fought for Biafra. This is the reason why Odumegwu Ojukwu failed to restore Biafra, because those we think that they are with us are against us. We cannot make the mistake. I am calling on the leadership and those that are championing Biafra restoration to please look into the map of Biafra and also revisit the people that made up Biafra land, so that the Igbo speaking part will not be wiped out in the name of Biafra restoration. Thank you and remain blessed. If I offend you with this bitter truth, please know that it is a truth. Work on it to make a corrections. If we are one, let us see the actions coming from the so-called South to prove that they are one. I always say 1% cannot decide for them. They must come out fully in support. If not, let us go with Igbo Nation. That is my own stand. God bless you all. I remember my humble self. MAP is Yoku Bundu. One, that truth that none of you can speak for, are afraid to say. I will say it. God bless you all.